What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some interesting news as four-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer, who currently the unified super middleweight world champion, that being Saul Canelo Alvarez. He did an interview today he's at the fight, and obviously the big story here is two-division undefeated world champion Mexican superstar boxer Oscar Valdez, who's the WBC junior lightweight reigning world champion, going into a fight with Robson Caseso, who is a Olympic gold medalist, Brazilian boxer. This is a big step up for Robson Caseso. It's a big opportunity for him. Canelo Alvarez, 56 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 38 big wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. November 6th, he should be going into an undisputed showdown with undefeated IBF super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Caleb Sweethand Plant. That's looking to be scheduled November 6th of this year, okay? With that said, Oscar Valdez, 29 wins, no losses, no draws, 24 big wins by way of knockout. Oscar Valdez is 30 years of age. He will be going into highly questionable showdown, which most people feel like Oscar Valdez should not be allowed to face off against Robson Caseso tonight. We know Oscar Valdez, 5'5" with a 66-inch arm reach. Robson Caseso, 16 wins, no losses, no draws, Olympics gold medalist. So this fight is taking place, although Oscar Valdez tested positive for phenamine, a banned substance on Valdez list, in which his A sample and B sample came back positive, okay? Obviously, we know back in 2018, Canelo Alvarez, ahead of his highly anticipated rematch showdown with former unified middleweight reigning world champion superstar boxer Gennady Triple G Golovkin, he tested positive for clenbuterol, which was cited. He stated that it was in the meat in Mexico was tainted, thus the reason why his levels were high. So with that said, he was suspended for 6 months. Then he came back. He fought Gennady Triple G Golovkin. He got the victory over Gennady Golovkin, okay? But a lot of people wasn't happy about what took place with Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez being such a superstar, high-profile athlete, you know, and the history we know of Mexico having meat, you know, having been tainted, and Canelo Alvarez still digesting it and citing that as a reason for it. You know, a lot of people wasn't happy, and they felt like Canelo Alvarez was simply looking for an alibi, and he was looking to cheat the sport. With that said, Canelo Alvarez, he showed up to the fight, the WBC, World Boxing Council, President Mauricio Suleiman. They said they were standing behind Oscar Valdez, that the amphetamine should not be on the banned substance list because it's equivalent to taking 3 Red Bulls, and it shouldn't be on the banned substance list. But there's research out there that shows you that amphetamine allows you to cut weight, lose weight, and it also enhances your stamina. So at the end of the day, it's a performance enhancer. And the WBC, they still said they was going to stand behind Oscar Valdez. So Canelo Alvarez shows up to the fight, which is taking place tonight. And Canelo Alvarez has been asked about, you know, Oscar Valdez, obviously. Do he believe that this fight should have been allowed to proceed forward? Do he agree with the WBC ruling and the Boxing Commission? And Canelo Alvarez, he stated that he's not sure if it's a good situation or it's a bad situation. With Canelo Alvarez, he stated that he feels a lot of people are doing this and coming down hard on Oscar Valdez because Oscar Valdez, they share the same trainer in Eddie Reynoso, who's a world-renowned trainer of the year, and they're under the same banner, you know, and they're, you know, fellow countrymen, so they have a lot in common. They're friends. They train together. You know, and so Canelo Alvarez is saying that he believes that a lot of this, criticism towards Oscar Valdez is stemming from his popularity and him overall. So Canelo Alvarez, he says he don't know if this is a good situation or a bad situation. How does Canelo Alvarez not know if this is a good situation or bad situation? Okay, amphetamine is a banned substance. It should not be allowed. You have WADA. They allow amphetamine as long as it's not in competition. So the day of competition is illegal. So if it's a legal day of competition, then it should be legal leading up into competition, because obviously WADA believes that it gives you an enhancement. It gives you an unfair advantage. It gives you performance enhancement. So with that said, you know, WADA doesn't allow you to have it the day of competition. In competition, you can't have it, okay? So with that said, it should not be allowed at all overall. VADA, UCAD, they do not allow amphetamine to be used at any point in time because it's used as a masking agency. Okay, it's used to flush out other. It can be used to flush out other banned substances, and obviously in the sport of boxing, it's very important to be able to make weight. Okay, a lot of fighters struggle to make weight, and so it can be used as a weight loss method as well. Okay, and so it should not be allowed. The WBC and President Mauricio Suleiman, they stripped two-time super middleweight undefeated world champion Mexican superstar boxer David Benavidez twice. Okay, first time they stripped David Benavidez was due to him using a recreational use outside of the sport of boxing, not in competition, and it's not a performance enhancer. Outside of the sport of boxing, and David Benavidez was stripped and suspended by the WBC. He then later on fought for the WBC title to regain it. And during the pandemic, global pandemic, he misses weight on the scale. And once again, the WBC immediately strips him of his title. Okay, don't give him the benefit of the doubt at all whatsoever. And then Canelo Alvarez petitions to fight for the vacant WBC title against Avni Yildirim, a former sparring partner who also tested positive for a banned substance. And the WBC, out of 32 board members, 31 board members voted that Canelo Alvarez should be able to allow to fight for the vacant WBC title. Well, if David Benavidez was not allowed to fight for the world title because he missed weight on the scale, then Oscar Valdez should not have been allowed to keep his title because this also is used as a weight loss method. So that means he was struggling to make weight. And even at the weigh-in yesterday, he had to get on the scale 3 separate times just to assure that he made weight, okay? And so a lot of people are not happy with this. So how does Canelo Alvarez look at this situation and say he's not sure if it's a bad situation or a good situation, okay? So with that said, Canelo Alvarez at this point in time, understands there's a lot of pressure on himself. After testifying for clenbuterol, he cited that it was steak in Mexico and that it was tacos from a taco stand. Only one time, and it significantly raised his clenbuterol levels within his body. Also, Eddie Reynoso has another fighter, okay, in Hernandez, who tested positive for a banned substance, also clenbuterol, and he cited the same reason. So what the WBC did, they chose to raise the levels of amount of clenbuterol that's allowed in your system because of the tainted meat in Mexico, instead of holding the fighters and these professional athletes accountable and letting them know that they cannot eat the meat in Mexico, point blank and period, because you are responsible for what goes in your body. No, they raised the levels of clenbuterol, and that turned a lot of fans off, okay? And so with that said, Canelo Alvarez, he says that, he stands behind Oscar Valdez, obviously, and he states that, his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, doesn't do anything wrong. They do everything by the book. They work very hard. And so I said this, a lot of people said, well, they work very hard. Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger worked very hard as a bodybuilder. Lou Ferrigno worked very hard as a bodybuilder. You have Ronnie Coleman work very hard as a bodybuilder. You have Craig Munson work very hard as a bodybuilder, but all of them have one thing in common. They used an unfair advantage to gain muscle mass, period. They used a banned substance that would be banned in the sport of boxing to gain muscle mass. Not anything, it didn't short or take away from their work ethic. It's just the facts of the facts is that you cannot use a performance enhancer, period, okay? And so regardless, the Oscar Valdez team, initially you had Bob Arum, legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter of Oscar Valdez. He stated that, Oscar Valdez, when the A sample came out, that he tested positive, that everybody was wrong and incorrect and jumping the gun, okay? And then the B sample came out, and he also tested positive. We have not heard from Bob Arum since then, okay? And so he was even calling for People Job that put this report out there, okay? And then Oscar Valdez and his team, they cited that it was a herbal tea in which Oscar Valdez took that was the reasoning for it. Okay, so regardless of what caused your amphetamine to be in your system, it should not be there. And if you could cite the exact reasoning for the amphetamine, you could say it was the herbal tea, then you knew you shouldn't have had the herbal tea. Okay, and then it was being called for like guys like Victor Conte, who is a specialist in performance enhancers. He said, well, if he believes it was the herbal tea, then we should be able to test the herbal tea that he drank to see if amphetamine is in the herbal tea. Well, his team then come out and state that it may not have been herbal tea, and he didn't drink the herbal tea. So now they're saying that it wasn't even the herbal tea. So this fight is allowed to be proceed. The sport of boxing is already dangerous enough. You put everything on the line for everybody's entertainment, and it should not be allowed to proceed forward. But Canelo Alvarez, he says he don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Well, that's our answer. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.